And it is fall again, folks. And we're going to do this again this year. We're going to grab a lineup of Oktoberfest beers.
Even though it's gone by, but as far as Oktoberfest, it has gone by. But.
That's all right. We're still in the fall, and still good time for fall beers.
It's still October.
Exactly. Now we have done this once before. I think last time we maybe had 4 different beers. So we went up the ante this time around. We've got 8. So bear with us. By the end, it might be getting a little dicey, but we're going to try and fire through all 8 of these tonight. We just kept getting one here and there and trying to look for other Oktoberfests that we hadn't had yet. And at the end...
And they're slowly actually starting to trickle out with some good ones. So.
Yeah.
And we figure we might as well actually just give them a try and see how they taste.
I think just within the last 2 weeks, we picked up 3. I found one that I hadn't seen tucked away in a corner of the beer store, and you picked up a couple of others. So, it kind of got out of control, but that's okay because they're all fall beers and Oktoberfest styles kick ass.
Yep. So,
in no particular order, we're going to start getting these guys going. We are going to start off with Ballast Point. Now, Ballast Point's had some really good beers for us. This is their Dead Ringer Oktoberfest, a traditional Marsen lager. And Ballast Point, most famous, in my opinion, for their habanero sculpin.
The habanero sculpin, which we've done on video. So
absolutely, a couple of times I think. That beer is rugged and awesome. So, Ballast Point. Here we go. Liking it.
Definitely a different flavor for Oktoberfest.
It's pretty bold.
It is, actually. Hard to explain, actually. It is very bold. I mean, you get the malt.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very hoppy, which usually Oktoberfest really isn't.
No, but there is a bit of a hoppiness in the finish. I can't identify a particular flavor to it, but just this general hoppy bitterness coming right through.
Right, and it's very pleasant. Now, as I've mentioned before, I believe that Sam Adams Oktoberfest is pretty much the yardstick that I use.
I think we can agree on that, and I know at least one other person who does as well.
Right, and pretty much Oktoberfest, I think last year, Sam Adams, we gave it a 5.
Yeah.
5 out of 5.
With one perfect 5 out of 5.
with this, because it is a little bit different, I'm going to give it a 4.5.
4.5, nice.
It's very close to the Sam Adams, but the thing about Sam Adams is that they do a lot of beer and they make it, and it's always consistent with the flavor, and that's the thing about good beer, is actually keeping it consistent throughout every batch. And really, Ballast Point kind of does the same thing, really.
Oh yeah, they've got some great beers, and I've never had any issues with one bottle of a particular variety tasting different from another.
Right.
So, 4.5 for you. I think I'm going to place this at a solid 4. For me, it's just different enough to give it some extra points, but nothing about it is really blowing me away. It is reminiscent, for me, of Flannel Fridays.
And that's the other one, yes.
Mm-hmm. Which Flannel Friday from Harpoon isn't necessarily an Oktoberfest style, but it is a
fall beer, yeah.
And it's got a similar flavor profile to this for me. It's what it reminded me of from the first sip. So I really like that beer as well.
Yeah, very good, actually.
Awesome. So that's 1 out of 4. I'm going to finish these off, cleanse the palate with a little water, and plug into the next one.
Yep.
Next up, Brooklyn Brewery's Oktoberfest. Ooh.
And refresh my memory, what have we had from Brooklyn before?
I don't want far. I don't know if you've had any with me, but I have had...
Well, I think we've had them at a couple of the Brewfest we've been at.
Maybe, yeah. But there was at least one from them, and it was a superhero theme. I can't remember exactly the name of the beer. There was actually a fan submission. They sent it in for free, which was awesome. The name of it escapes me, but it was a very good beer. So I've been impressed with what I've had from Brooklyn so far. Here's hoping the Oktoberfest lives up to that.
Smells good.
Mm-hmm.
It has a similar taste to the Ballast Point, but
it's more reminiscent for me of a traditional lager.
Yes,
And it is a lager, so there's a little bit less of that fall spiciness, a little bit less of that smokiness.
And that's actually detracting from it for me, actually.
Yeah, it reminds me more of a domestic import. Or
Yeah.
a domestic import.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm only one beer in and I'm already saying stupid shit. It reminds me more of a domestic beer, just
Yes.
a regular domestic lager.
Nothing's really standing out on it.
No,
But
it's not bad.
No, it's not. I mean, I could drink a 12-pack of it, and
But it almost makes me think, what if Budweiser tried to do an Oktoberfest, and this is kind of close to what I would think that would taste like. Like I said, it's not bad. It's got plenty of flavor and plenty of body to it.
Yeah.
But it's just too close to a regular lager flavor for me for it to really be impressing me. So I think I got to hit this one with a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, it does say that it is a lager, and it's actually 5.5%. So
yeah, a Marson style lager is a pretty traditional Oktoberfest beer, but
yeah,
the fact that they don't mention Marson style, they just call it a lager, makes me think even closer. So
I think if you read on the label a little more, it might actually say that it could be somewhere in that Marson style, but
oh yeah, and they definitely are going to be. But the fact that they didn't specifically mention it in the style description makes me wonder. But on a scale of 1 to 5, we got to remember that a 2.5 is average. So I am still rating this as a slightly above average beer.
I would probably give this about a 3.5.
About a 3.5. So you're enjoying it a little bit more than I am. Okay.
See, I'm enjoying it a little more because I think I know how you like the hoppy beers, so and that's not hoppy for me, so that's why I kind of enjoy.
Yeah, there's definitely not much coming through in terms of hop character for this. As a matter of fact, probably nothing.
But like I mentioned before, it's not really supposed to anyway.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't expect an Oktoberfest beer to be overly hoppy, unless it's a break from tradition.
Right. So it's not bad.
No, it's not bad. I'd buy it again. Pardon. I just probably wouldn't choose it over another Oktoberfest.
Right.
When there's other options that I enjoy more.
Right.
So.
Yep.
Pardon. Getting a little gassy on me.
Yep.
All right, well, that's number 2. We'll finish these guys up, and we'll move on to number 3.
Yep.
1. And the third contender is actually a local Oktoberfest. This is from Marsh Island Brewing. We've had several beers that we really enjoy from them. And
this one kind of looks like it might be a little hoppier. Because the way you see they got the hops.
Picture of the hops.
Yeah.
Well, not like Marsh Island is known for hoppy beers or anything.
Swayze.
They definitely have some very good hoppy beers. What I'm wondering is this the first year they've done an Oktoberfest? Because I've never seen it before.
I actually think it is, and I am pretty much a lot of these that we just picked up this time, except for one, I've never seen up until now.
Yeah, so some of them might be new to the area, some of them might be new to our local stores, some of them might be brand new Oktoberfests.
But we mostly got these from Damon's there. Well, now the new Damon's there in Waterville.
Exactly.
We never saw them down in Augusta either, though.
No.
When we've looked as well, so.
Yeah. So that's the real question: are they new or are they just new to us? Because Marsh Island has been doing some beers for a while. I'd be surprised if it was their first year doing an Oktoberfest, but not that surprised.
Right.
Because it might just be we just finally got around to one, guys. So,
excuse me.
That's enough about that. Let's get these guys going. I've got great expectations for this beer. And there is definitely some hoppiness coming through right in the aroma.
I can smell it right from here.
That's interesting. It is fairly hoppy up front.
It is, but it does have a sweet spice, not spicy, but more caramelly. Or
see a little bit
molasses, not molasses, but
a little bit of a malty sweetness.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that.
And I think it's from the malt. I mean, that malt really does actually reminds me a lot of Sam Adams.
It does give me a general impression of hoppiness up front, and just a bit of a hoppy bitterness, but I'm trying to place the character of it because it quickly fades to an aroma and taste reminiscent of burning leaves. They're just a pile of leaves. And again, it's close to that Flannel Friday beer, because that was the impression I distinctly got from that one.
No, that's kind of like what right, the Flannel
it?
Friday. No, I was tilting it here so I can actually read it.
Dummy.
I should have drank a little more.
But no, yeah, it's definitely got a hoppy character up front. And then that really nice fall leafiness to it. And then it finishes as a more of a traditional Oktoberfest flavor for me.
All right. On the can here it says, our take on the traditional German Oktoberfest style. Actually, malty and smooth. Alright, this beer is one way of celebrating. Let's see, celebrating the beautiful fall season. Here in Maine. And then Prost.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry that's kind of broken up, but
yeah, that's all right.
When I was reading, but it was hard.
Don't worry about it. I just dropped a bottle opener. So. Jesus Christ, we're doing really good. 3 beers in.
Well, you are anyway.
Yeah, by the end of the night. All right, so
that definitely. I'm actually going to give this I'm going to give this a 5. With the flavor.
With you.
With the flavor.
Yeah, it is definitely a departure from the traditional Oktoberfest, but it is still an Oktoberfest beer.
Yes.
And
it is a very
distinctly.
And it really is a very good Oktoberfest beer.
So I'm loving it too. Yeah, we got to go with 2 perfect 5 out of 5s for this one.
Yep.
So
that ranks right up there with Sam Adams.
For different reasons, though.
Yep.
I think with the Oktoberfest from Sam Adams, there's nothing that really stands out about it except for how well it fits with the Oktoberfest model and how well it defines that for me.
Right.
Whereas this is wowing me just by being different.
Yep.
But still an awesome overall flavor experience in terms of an Oktoberfest beer. So we're going to finish these guys up, and we will move on to number 4.
Yes, we will. Halfway.
Halfway point, folks. Next up, we have Leinenkugels.
Oktoberfest.
Absolutely. German-style Marsen beer. Let's get these guys going. I've had a few beers from Leinenkugels, but mostly they're lighter summer stuff. So this should be interesting.
See, the other thing that we're not doing that
tops.
We probably did last time was we were pouring them out, I think. So
yeah, I can't remember. It's been a while.
So we could see the colors, but no, we're not. But it's because we have so many to do.
Yeah,
so.
I was gonna say, with having to do 8 in one video, we'll just keep them in the bottles so we don't have to wash as many dishes.
No, that definitely has a different taste to it.
For me, it's kind of weak until it hits the finish.
Yes.
And then the finish is kind of like a mouthful of fall spice.
Almost like pumpkin pie.
There's a vague pumpkininess to it.
Yeah. No, actually, the spices from like a pumpkin pie. Not really. You're getting that almost nutmeg.
I don't know. I'm getting a bit of a pumpkin-y flavor though.
Yeah.
After that fades. I mean, there could be some squash or pumpkin in there, but it doesn't specifically say that.
That's actually very good too. It's different.
I don't know. For me, it's just not resonating really well.
No, it's not, but it's. I won't turn it down. That's for sure.
No.
If somebody offered it.
No, it's different, but it's kind of weak for me.
As far as the Oktoberfest flavor, yeah, it's a little weak, but actually it's not bad, but it's not great either.
Yeah, I think I got another beer here that I got to hit with a 3 out of 5. Again, it's slightly above average, and I'm not disliking it, but I'm just not.
I might say the same too. It's about
Not
a 3 out of 5.
Yeah. So not
But
bad, but I'm just not that impressed.
Yeah. It's run of the mill.
Yeah. Pretty average.
Just slightly above because it does have a different flavor, different character.
And in the finish, it really kind of kicks in.
Yeah.
With a hint of, like you said, nutmeg. I'd say fall spices and a bit of pumpkin.
It's more like allspice or something like that. It's more like that.
Yeah, just a combination of different spices, because that's pretty much what allspice is.
And really, it's not really that bad. I mean, you can tell that it is a fall beer.
Yeah, and that's the one thing I think that's given it some extra points from me, other than being an average beer, is the fact that it does reminiscent of a fall beer. So,
almost like that Flannel Friday.
To a certain extent.
Yeah.
Pardon?
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah. I wouldn't turn it down if somebody. It almost has a smoky flavor, actually.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
That's what I'm getting in there. A little bit of the aftertaste.
Yeah. So not bad. I'm not going to dump it out.
No.
No, but I'm not going to go out of my way to buy it in the future. So.
No.
All right.
I don't blame you.
We're at the halfway mark. I'm going to finish these guys up and move on to number 5.
Number 5.
And number 5 is a little different. Happens to be a one-time only brewing from Sierra Nevada in collaboration with Brewhaus Miltenberger out in Germany. We've partnered with Brewhaus Miltenberger, one of Germany's most highly regarded craft brewers, to create an authentic festival beer for your Oktoberfest celebration right here at home. We're focusing on the depth of complex flavor in this amber lager, using traditional techniques to create layers of rich malt notes that remain light and crisp. So, Sierra Nevada, you're noticing North Carolina. I mentioned California. They brew both in Chico, California, and Mills River, North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Pretty sure this batch came from North Carolina.
Most likely.
Yeah. So, one time only. So, thanks for snagging this when you saw it, because it doesn't sound like we'll be able to get it ever again. Nope. Another one hit the floor.
Stay.
I think it's done rolling. So, here we go.
It's done flopping.
Bold. That's another
very
bold one.
Really good malt. And the spices they used in it. There's got to be a what the hell is the name of it? There's got to be a bag of spices that they put in it when it was brewing.
Definitely a load of fall spices in there.
Oh yeah.
It hits me up front with a full-bodied traditional Oktoberfest beer flavor.
Yes.
And then it fades to a combination of different fall spices, none that I can really put a finger on.
And and that's what it's supposed to kind of be like. Really, you shouldn't be able to actually distinguish certain things from it.
It finishes with having the aroma, the taste that lingers in your mouth after having sat around a campfire.
Yes, that smoky kind of flavor.
That is actually pretty damn good.
That's very good. Wow.
Yeah. Wow. I think I got another one that's getting full marks from me. This is another 5 out of 5, I think.
Me as well. 5 out of 5. Very good flavor. And really, for pretty much a one-off shoot from them.
Yeah.
Sierra Nevada is not really, I won't say that they're a big brewery, but like mainstream, like Budweiser.
Yeah, they're definitely not big beer, but they are pretty decent
But they
sized.
are very good sized, yes. And, I mean, we're getting them over here, and they're in California, so.
Yeah. They've got a lot of different beers.
Yes, and it's...
Oh, pardon. And they've got some established seasonals, and they're usually putting out several new beers every year.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm kind of wondering, though, if they actually used some of the... some ingredients from that German, or if they just use their expertise.
Yeah, I'm sure they took some recipe recommendations as well.
Right.
But overall, yeah. That one's
or maybe the German brewery actually did the malting of it, put the malt together or something.
Possible. Might have put together a blend, but I'm pretty... Yeah, once they start the actual brewing process, that all has to happen in the same facility.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they might have shipped over the ingredients in their recommendations.
Yep, that's actually... And the thing
Damn
is,
good.
the other thing that kind of I like is the bottle, the way the bottle's shaped.
Yeah, well, that's a traditional Sierra Nevada bottle.
Right, and that's really actually the old style bottle beer, so...
Yeah, I like the fat bottle with the wide shoulders. Give me something to grip onto.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that one.
Yeah. So that's 2 5s.
2 5s so far. Marsh Island and Sierra Nevada.
Yeah, these are really good.
Good crop this year.
Yes.
Good crop of Oktoberfests
So far.
So we'll finish these guys up, and we'll move on to the next beer. It's gonna be number 6. Next up, we have another local Oktoberfest. This is from OPB, Pond Brewing, right down in Skowhegan, Maine. Yep. So we're going to get these guys open. I know you like their nut brown lager. And
actually, with
oh, shit.
With the Obon... Oh, that
both of them are good. Gosh. Well, let's give them a second or two. Wow.
What I've actually noticed...
got messed with all that much either.
What I've actually noticed with what I got with Obon, I've actually had this one before. I've had the Oktoberfest, and it's really actually a very, very good beer.
Yeah.
And that's what actually turned me on to Obon Brewery was the Oktoberfest. And then, well, they've been pretty much at all the beer fests that we've been to.
Yeah.
And there's been line. I mean, you noticed the line coming into it, going through them. It gets
longer
right.
As the fest goes on.
Right, and so they do have some very good beers.
Yeah.
And the go-to one that I like is the the go-to 2 is the Dooryard.
Mm-hmm. Dooryard's good.
Or the Somerset.
Somerset's good too. For me, it's their Storyteller Doppelbock, but it's hard to get
one's
hold
good
of that
too.
one because
it's
when
actually
you brew it sells out fast.
It's actually been hard to get this lately.
Yeah, because wow.
And they brew this
fast.
they brew this year round though.
Yeah, really.
Yes.
They brew the Oktoberfest year round. Well, that's interesting.
Yes, they do.
All right, well, we're gonna get this mess cleaned up and drink the beer. All right, well, we're still foaming a little bit, but
we're still foaming at the mouth.
These guys,
they're still rabid.
Just a little. So here we go. Yeah, that is rich and flavorful.
Very.
I mean, it's everything I remember it being.
See, I've always actually compared this to Sam Adams as well. So, and it's comparable to Sam Adams.
It does have a similar overall flavor.
Right.
And a similar overall experience.
And like I said, they do brew this year round. So, but it's still hard to get.
Mm-hmm. It sells quick whenever
Right.
it shows up somewhere.
Yep. Whenever it shows up down here at our local beer beverage mart.
Establishment.
Yep.
Mercantile.
They do have a slot for it. It says OPB Oktoberfest, but sometimes they have something different in it.
Oh yeah, whatever they can get from OPB, because OPB does tend to sell pretty well down there.
Yes.
I think a part of that is their pricing. Their pricing is pretty damn reasonable for the size of the bottle.
Yep.
But they're also very good beers too. So those two factors combined
Are very right.
The stuff moves.
Yep. And really, for a local brewery that's actually been around for quite a while,
yeah,
it's very good, and they do have some other very good beers as well.
They've got several.
Yes.
So, I think I got to hit this with a 4.5 out of 5. It's not quite wowing me to the point of the Sam Adams. It is very, very reminiscent of it.
It's very close to it. And that's why I kind of
profile.
It's very close to it. That's why I give it either 4.5 to 5. Sometimes it varies actually with this.
With your mood.
Right. Well, yeah, that's true.
And what kind of beer experience you're looking for at the time, and that can be true of any beer.
And that's right. And it just depends on how your palate is. Your palate changes all the time too. So, plus as the other thing I will mention about these particular two, they've been sitting around here for a while.
Yeah, speaking of which, you're about to crest the top again there, buddy. That'll keep it down for a little while. There you go. It's like morning wood. You beat it down, and it takes care of it for a little while, but sooner or later it's coming back. I can see yours starting to, your beer, not the other thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's gonna keep doing that until we finish the
bottles.
bottles.
Its way to the top, so
we might have to actually drink all of these.
Might have to. Well, you know.
Well, we haven't
letting anything else go to waste either.
That's right.
But yeah. All right, so that is that, and before they gush again, we're going to move on to the next beer.
That's right.
All right, folks, so for number 7, a little bit of a departure here. This is still, I would still say this is an Oktoberfest beer, but it's listed as a fest beer from Weihenstephaner. Yeah, just based on what we're seeing about it, I would still list it as an Oktoberfest, because a lot of German companies actually will refer to it simply as a fest beer. So.
And that's what and from what I've seen on it online, they do have a website. It's the world's oldest brewery, from what they claim.
Mm-hmm.
They can trace it back to 730-something AD.
That might be a little sketchy. They probably have something to sketch it back.
Right.
Sketch. To trace it back to 730. But they only list since 1040.
Yeah.
On the label.
Right, and they've actually said in the area where the things were found actually.
Gotcha.
They said they can trace it to that particular, because I believe the name of the brewery is the name of a town in Germany.
Gotcha.
All right, and they've traced that back that far, and there was some kind of war that went on, and then they started brewing again.
Yeah.
And that might have been the time that they did that.
Yeah.
Now,
believe it or not, there are still some standards in advertising where they probably have to provide documentation, and that's why they can only go to 1040.
Right.
But history is a little bit. History isn't an exact science sometimes. So they probably can trace the brewery's history back to 730. They just can't document it, which is why we get the discrepancy. So.
Right. Now, with the fest beers, they've actually said they start brewing it in March, and they brew it all the way up through the festival season, which is pretty much it culminates with Oktoberfest, and that's what they actually likened it to.
Yeah.
So we're gonna actually give it a try and see how it tastes.
Absolutely, I think it belongs with the Oktoberfests. So.
And actually,
So yeah, it was the Sierra Nevada was listed as a fest beer as well, but it also does say
Oktoberfest.
So
right.
But yeah, check these guys out. I've been skipping this step because the beers have been gushing on us. It
See, now
tastes
that's
old.
Yes. What, you mean it tastes old like it's been sitting for a while?
No, it tastes like a beer that's got some history behind it.
It does, actually. And that actually tastes very good as well. And it's actually, to me, it's a lot similar to the Sierra Nevada that we just tried. But it does have a different flavor. It has a distinct flavor.
Yeah. It's very reminiscent of a lager.
Yep.
Of course, they're all Marsh style.
They're
lagers.
supposed to be lagers anyway.
Yeah. But it definitely has that in the aftertaste and the finish. You can definitely get that distinct character. But up front,
it really tastes like a fall beer.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm getting that leafiness. There's no other way to describe it. I think that actually comes from tannins, but I could be completely off base with that.
Excuse me, but yeah, no, it does have that reminiscent flavor of a fall beer, of a good flavorful fall beer. I'm actually going to hit this probably with a 4.5.
4.5
out of 5. Excuse me. Whew.
Yeah.
That's all the other ones coming up too.
There you go. Oh, it is quite good.
It is very good.
You can taste the history in it.
It does have that flavor, and we do have. If you actually go onto the website here, if you go on to, let's see, totalbeveragesolutions.com.
Yeah.
And that's actually the importer.
That's the importer, yeah.
That's the importer. You can also go to Weihenstephaner.de. There is also a link from the Total Beverage Solutions.com too, and they do have they have it down there. They have some other beers down there at where I got this one from. And we haven't really tried any of those, so we might have to hit them up because those are pretty damn good.
Yeah, I mean you can taste the history in it, and by that I mean it tastes like a beer that's been cellared, even though it really hasn't.
Right.
Pardon, at least not according to the description we got here.
Right. And really, there's no as far as this label, there's nothing else actually to describe anything on it. You have to actually go to the websites, one of the websites, and look at it.
And they got a little more history there. I mean, that's pretty much true for Maine Brewing, but yeah, so definitely a good one. I think I could rack this set down with a 4 out of 5. So a little bit lower than where you are, but still pretty high up there. It's a damn good beer.
Right. It is a really good beer.
So that was.
What was that? That's number 6? 7.
7.
So we got one more left, right?
One more left. Here it comes,
and
folks.
I know which one that is.
In just a minute.
Yep.
All right, and we finished this up, and you just pointed this out, that we went from having the world's oldest brewery to America's oldest brewery with Younglings Oktoberfest. But we can't get Younglings here in Maine. This was actually a special delivery from a friend of a family member, my aunt and uncle, Lynn and Vic. Mm-hmm. A friend of theirs went on a trip somewhere and came home with a handful of different beers. I can't remember if they said they asked them to do that for me, or if they said, they brought us a bunch of different beers and we don't like different beers because we're talking about Michelob Ultra drinkers here. There's nothing wrong with that. Drink beer. Drink beer. Drink beer. Try to get adventurous once in a while, please. But anyway.
Now, we have had Younglings before,
traditional lager.
Okay. And we do actually have a video.
Yeah. I'll probably post a link to it. We've mentioned
also don't forget to post a link to last year's Oktoberfest as well.
Yeah, that'll probably be one of the first ones.
Yep.
Yeah, we've mentioned
I
a
don't
few
know if you
other.
actually mentioned it earlier.
Yeah,
or
we
not,
did.
But,
We did at the very beginning.
well, no, if you mentioned the
You
link.
haven't been drinking that many.
If
beers.
you mentioned the link.
No, but anytime I drop a
Okay.
mention of a previous video, I
I know
usually
you-
pop the link up there just
Yeah.
in case. Hey, you guys have been paying attention. You probably picked up on that because he didn't. Bouch doesn't pay attention to jack shit unless it's an open bottle of beer or an erect penis.
What?
No. So you are paying attention this time.
No.
All right.
Or some easy cheese.
There you go. Easy cheese and Ritz. Jesus Christ. Any kind of cheese.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be easy.
I will post a link to the special video I made you.
And you know something?
My 10 minutes of slow motion cheese drizzling. Yes, I did make that video.
That's a
for
twist off as well.
you. I know it's a twist off. I'm a little disappointed that America's oldest brewery uses a twist off. But here we go with
We'll see.
Younglings Oktoberfest.
We'll see.
Well, it certainly didn't lose much carbonation. These have been sitting around for a little while, and they're falling a little bit flat, but they're still fairly well carbonated.
No, they still are. This one is anyway.
Yeah.
And the OPB was.
Yeah,
But
yeah, the OPB sat around for a few months too.
almost a year.
Almost.
And I think this one was too.
Yeah, this was close to a year, so.
But this actually has a very unique flavor. You can tell that this is old as well, as far as the recipe and the brewery.
Yeah, you can taste the history in it. Is kind of what I.
And usually in those type of breweries that are old, they want that history to begin with.
Yeah.
And they want that flavor in their beers. And this one definitely has put that in their beer.
It does remind me of that last one where it tastes like something that's been cellared,
Yes.
but it doesn't. It hasn't been.
Right.
There's a distinct age and a pleasant mustiness to it that I'm really liking. But overall, just very much a traditional Oktoberfest taste and style.
Yes.
But it's got that age and slight mustiness behind it that it gives it some different character.
Excuse me.
I think I'm going to throw a 4.5 out of 5 at this one.
I'm actually going to do the same. That's 4.5 out of 5. That's a very, very nice, smooth flavor.
Mm-hmm.
And really, excuse me. It's not hitting me really out of the ordinary.
No, so it's
From
not.
what we've had today, what we've had tonight.
Yeah, maybe not,
but it is actually setting it aside from some other ones, and it really is a very good beer. Actually, all of them have been.
They've all been great Oktoberfests.
Right, and they all have their distinct flavors. Try them out, and
Absolutely.
we'll see.
Yep. So there's 8 Oktoberfests for you this year.
Yep.
Doubling what
Who
we did
knows?
last year.
Who
Maybe
knows?
next year we'll do 16.
That's what I was going to say. But it just depends on how many other
Yeah,
companies actually come out with them.
We're
Because
definitely
there's not a lot that are.
No, well, we're definitely not doing 16 in one night. I've done 12 beers in one night, and that was
And
plenty.
well, that was a marathon for you.
That was plenty. That was a rough night.
Yeah. I noticed at the end of that video, the sun was coming up.
Sun was coming up. But, just our opinions on these beers. Make sure to hit us up down in the comments and the email link down below. Love to hear what you have to say about them. Any thoughts, agreement, disagreement that you have. While you're down there, make sure to click on a like and share. And don't forget to subscribe. When you subscribe, we get a notification, and you'll get a notification every time a new video is posted. Pardon.
Yeah, and it's been a little while since you mentioned, but if you know of anybody that has a home brew that they want tested out, give us a comment.
Yep. We'll see what we can do about getting some in our hands.
Right.
I mean, we're always open for any viewer suggestions, but if it's something that you've made yourself or that you know somebody who has brewed it, always welcome. We'll definitely give you a fair and balanced opinion on it. and maybe some constructive feedback, although neither one of us brews ourselves, so it'll just be taste and flavor feedback, not I ain't going to tell you what to put in the stuff, because I don't know.
Right.
So, good times. Till next time, folks, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.
Keep drinking.
That one's getting disappeared. Boom. Good way to end the video.
That's right. So long.